Welcome to the Four Visions Market Podcast, a space built on the principles of integrity and reciprocity. Together, we will engage in thought-provoking conversations about plant medicines, why these plants are coming out of the rainforest, jungles, and mountains after thousands of years, and what it means to be in right relationship with the ancestral wisdom cultures and guardians of these traditions. I'm your host, Mariah, founder and director of Four Visions Market. This podcast is the natural evolution in our commitment to providing you, our tribe, with incredible resources to support you on your healing journey through plant medicines. Welcome home. I would like to take a moment to share a holiday message from Four Visions. This holiday season, we are reflecting on the power of legacy. As we go walking this spiritual path, we have the blessed honor to plant the seeds that will be harvested by the generations to come. With everything that we have faced as a human family this year, now more than ever, we wish to attune our prayers, thoughts, and actions towards the children. What earth will our children and our children's children inherit after we have departed? We'd like to share with you the four visions that are the foundational pillars which guide our mission. Vision number 1. We envision a future where all humans thrive in optimum health and vitality. Vision number 2. We envision a future where the waters run clean, the air is pure, and the earth is healed. Vision number 3. We envision a world where all beings are connected to their intuition and higher selves. Vision number 4. We envision a world that honors sacred traditions and the interconnectedness of all life. This year, with your help, we have been able to continue expanding our impact and fulfilling our mission to preserve ancestral wisdom cultures. Just a few of the incredible projects we've been able to support this year, thanks to you, our loyal Four Visions family, include planting 10,000 botanical plant species in our Planting Magic initiative in partnership with Magic Fund Amazon, further supporting the vision of ensuring that the healing botanicals of the rainforest continue to thrive for many generations to come. Funding the build of a new classroom for the Yawanawa School Iskavakahu, dedicated to the reviving of the ancestral traditions and restoring of dignity and identity to the Yawanawa people. And this holiday season, we were able to donate books, clothing, and art supplies to an Ingano school in Putumayo to bless 70 indigenous kids. This special school focuses on the principles of good thought, law of origin, maternal language studies, ancestral wisdom practices, and indigenous identity. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us in this vision and prayer that we are stewarding. It is a balm of hope that can soothe our hearts in these times. Let us always remember that the flame of faith burns bright and that the light always prevails. This holiday season, hold your loved ones close and remember, love conquers all. Hello, Four Visions family. Thank you so much for tuning in to this final episode of our first season finale. We are here celebrating 1 year of the Four Visions podcast, and I'm feeling so grateful and really humbled with this beautiful opportunity. It's been a year of beautiful growth and expansion for the company, for myself as well. And I've enjoyed so much being able to begin to have these important conversations through our podcast. So I really just want to thank you so much for tuning in, for listening, for supporting this show. And we look forward to a beautiful 2024. We're really excited to continue building this vision, building this beautiful seed, which is the podcast. It feels very much still in a seed phase. And one of our hopes is that in the upcoming year, we can continue cultivating, nourishing, and fertilizing this seed so that it can grow into a beautiful source for plant medicine wisdom and education and important conversations when it comes to the preservation of indigenous cultures and resurrection of indigenous traditions and land. And so we're feeling just really at peace and humbled by our incredible community and tribe that have said yes to this vision. This year has been a big year of a lot of growth for us. We went through our rebrand and really kind of established ourselves in a new way, rebirthed ourselves in a new way. And we've been really tuning in to this process of deep listening of what's next for Four Visions and how we can continue to steward this vision and steward this prayer in a good way. So this is my first solo episode, and I'm really happy to get to be here with you all and take a few minutes and just share some updates and some reflections as well about this past year, this past season of the podcast, and also share some of the things that we are looking forward to in the new year. And so, with that, I'd love to just begin by sharing a prayer. I am here drinking some sacred pu'er tea, and I'm here in my home in Northern California, and we are welcoming in the cold. The last few weeks started to get really cold after Thanksgiving, and we're really just preparing for this beautiful season of hibernation. Many of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm sure, are feeling it as well. And it's this beautiful time of pause, this time where you really feel the body requesting and deeply needing a season of nourishment, a season of rest. I've been feeling that deeply and feeling really grateful to be here in the sacred lands and have this upcoming season to do that and take some time also to tend to Four Visions and really nourish our team and take care of all of the different elements that make this organization run and really feed everyone and really fill everyone's cup during this holiday season so that we can replenish and begin 2024 anew, re-energized, nourished, motivated, fortified, and prepared to continue our mission. So here I am, I'm drinking some tea with you all, and one of the beautiful things about tea is it really allows for a profound connection with nature in the most simplest way. And I've been really enjoying the study of tea lately and allowing for beautiful tea meditations to accompany my spiritual practices. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful ritual. And so I'm sharing this medicine with you all, as well as some beautiful copal that I have burning from the sacred lands of Mexico. And I'm just really sending this prayer out to all of you, wherever you are, that you may feel and connect with us. Maybe if you're driving or doing anything, you could take a moment with me here and just attune to a place of prayer together. Just take a few minutes in peace and silence and centeredness and in connection. I'm inviting us all to come into our hearts and to feel the beating of our hearts. And take a few deep breaths, allowing the breath of life to oxygenate every cell of our beings. And coming into this place of here and now, this place of stillness, this place of knowing, an inner knowing of divine connection with all of nature. We are part of nature. We've never been separate. We, from the beginning of time, have been part of the greater design, and we will continue to be eternally. And as we sit here, home in our hearts, sending out a prayer of brilliance and divine light to all beings and to the collective human consciousness at this time. We pray that anyone who is listening to these words feels the amplification of divine light illuminating from your heart, from your mind, and from your spirit, and that you can send this prayer of light out into the world, amplifying, rippling forth this brilliance, this beauty, this divinity, and this truth to all souls who are lost, to all those who are suffering, to all those who have forgotten their own divinity and communion with life. I pray in this moment here with you as my witness in partnership, in brotherhood and sisterhood in this prayer to all of creation, that our walk, our path, the steps that we tread upon this earth may be an offering to all of life, and that each day that we wake up and have the gift of this one precious life, that our ways of walking upon the earth may be harmonious, may be in divine harmony and divine communion with life itself, that we may contribute to the collective consciousness through beautiful thoughts, thoughts that bring harmony and love, thoughts that uplift the collective consciousness, that clear the cobwebs of the mind, that we may speak words of beauty and bring manifest only beauty and divine light into our lives and every life that we touch, that our paths may be ones of beauty, of divine communion with nature and all that we are and all that is. This is our humble prayer in this day, in this moment, asking our Creator to receive this offering and request to be humble soldiers, humble earth warriors, servants of the divine light, servants of love, servants of justice, servants of the good path forward, servants of truth, and servants of hope. Radiating this prayer of love out to each and every one of you. Thank you for taking this moment with me in this way. Thank you for opening this podcast episode with a prayer, because I know that that's not very usual, but I felt like it was fitting for this final episode and this solo episode. Here I am sharing a little bit of my prayer, the prayer that I've been stewarding and cultivating for 6 or 7 years now. It's been a journey. And when I began this project, I could have never imagined that it would be what it is today. And I think I may have talked a little bit about this before on the podcast, but for me, Four Visions started as a simple way of supporting the indigenous artisans of the Ingano tribe, the tribe and the family of my teacher, Taito Juanito, as a small gesture of support after I had initially gone down and started my own healing journey. I was welcomed in with so much love and care from Taito Juanito's family. And, you know, I was so touched, and it played such a vital and fundamental role in my healing journey that I offered to purchase some artisan goods, some ceremonial jewelry, and my initial thought was, okay, I can just bring it back, and maybe I'll get to share it with my loved ones or some friends, right? I wasn't really, I definitely wasn't coming with the idea of starting a business with it. But it was beautiful, the way that these beautiful ceremonial goods were received, and the prayer behind them was felt and resonated with many people. And so I started buying them more and sharing them more. And then little by little, I started having the beautiful blessing of making relations with other indigenous communities, other indigenous tribes, and one foot in front of the other, one step in front of the other. And I have found myself in this beautiful role of bridge work, of really ambassadorship and service to this beautiful sharing, intercultural sharing and exchange of ancestral wisdom and information. And of course, the tools and the plants. And so as this beautiful path and this beautiful project unfolded and, really evolved on its own accord, it's been this constant returning back to where my source for inspiration is, and how I can be of service to Four Visions and to our Four Visions tribe, our community, and what really being open to listening to what's needed at this time in society, as well with the influx of psychedelics and plant medicine culture. When I started this path over a decade ago, it was a much different landscape. And, plant medicine was really just for the ultra hippie spirituals. It was in no way the level of mainstream that it is today, which we all know, right? It's really picking up speed. And I think that this is really beautiful. I think that this is so special and really speaks to the importance of these ancestral tools and the fungi and the plants and their role in the healing of humanity's consciousness and evolution. And we're also at the precipice of a lot of important questions that will determine the direction that we take as modern society in our relationship with these practices, with the rise of clinical use of psychedelics and all of the scientific research that has, been exploding recently. This is important, needed, and very beautiful. But of course, it comes with other questions of how the sacred and the ancient play a role in this new forging path and an area of clinical psychology when it comes to the use of plants. And so I've been sitting a lot with that this year and really tuning into our community, right? And really talking to people, listening, and getting a lot of great feedback as well from the guests on our show. And it's becoming more and more clear what the role of Four Visions is in all of this. And that is really beautiful, because when things are new and growing quickly, it can be easy to get scared or feel nervous about the unknown and what's to come. And, as we've been navigating this last year, which was a big year for us as a company, it's been on the forefront of our awareness of where are we going. And we had a real breakthrough this year with that. And it was a real clarity of the important role that Four Visions has as a bridge for anyone walking the plant path, as a resource and a bridge to the ancestral traditions. And so this is so near and dear to my heart. And in no way do we admonish one way over another or, approve one use of plant medicines over another, but rather we firmly do believe in the importance of the ancestral wisdom cultures and the ancestral traditions to be at the forefront of this discussion of the evolution of plant medicine and psychedelics in the modern world. It's, to me, feels silly to discuss ways in which to legalize or provide access to these medicines without consulting traditional wisdom keepers who have been safeguarding the use of these practices and plants for thousands and thousands of years. And so the thing that really lights me up and gets me very excited for where we're going is this beautiful landscape that's unfolding of all the different ways in which we can begin to utilize our platform to bring different leaders and important people in the field of the wisdom keepers, right? And really bring them to the forefront to share their insights, their perspectives, their learnings, their teachings, and their guidance, right? I feel that this time of the discussion of legalization and just this huge, beautiful new frontier that we're facing 100% needs the guidance and the counsel of the wisdom keepers and the indigenous people who have been stewarding these traditions. And so these are the conversations that I look forward to bringing more and more to you, our listeners, through this podcast and in a variety of other ways. It's been incredible, and I really am so grateful for the opportunity to get to be a part of this and to get to play a small role in facilitating these important conversations and these stories, these teachings to be shared. I've heard a lot of different elders talk about the prophecies of and even the warnings of bringing the medicines out of the jungle. And different teachers, talk in different ways about it. But there is a general sense of warning that is spoken about or was spoken about, maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when it was just starting. There was this sense of hesitation and even, precaution, saying, you don't know what you're dealing with, and take time to learn these plants before you go making radical choices and integrating them in quite radical ways into your society. I mention that because I feel like that's really an important element, humility, when it comes to working with the plants. And one of the things that I'm so happy that we're able to do with Four Visions is make accessible tools that are supportive for people on the plant path, right? And really being able to source these ethical products in a way that people can really trust and feel the prayer behind them. And with that also, does require this element of humbling ourselves to the wisdom that each plant contains and really opening ourselves to the infinity of consciousness and medicine in each plant. When I hold a piece of copal, for example, and I tune into the thousands of years that this sacred resin has been prayed with by many different indigenous cultures, and this sweet resin and the way in which it purifies and heals, I only scrape the surface of the immense amount of wisdom that the sweet copal has for me. And so by opening ourselves more and more, and by literally coming with this open cup and this receptivity to receive, the plants talk to us and they start to form divine relationships with us. And there we empower ourselves with the plants. So what I mean by this is, it's not to say that there's not a way forward where these plants are integrated. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There very much is a way in which all people can work with these tools, and we can return to these ancient wisdom cultures and learn from them and learn from the plants in a good way. And that's the vision that we're holding here at Four Visions. We truly believe in the power of these plants, and Sure, there's certain master plants that are right for others and certain plants that are a good fit for others. But at the end of the day, plants are part of nature and we are part of nature. And so to affirm that these plants are for all of humanity to heal, and these plants are a gateway, a portal to our own remembrance and the return home for all of humanity and for the collective consciousness to empower ourselves and return home to the heart, return home to love. And I firmly believe that with every fiber of my being. And that's why we are going to continue doing the work that we're doing, because that is our why, that really is the fire behind us that is causing us to walk forward and continue this project, this initiative. It's kind of silly to call it a company because it's a prayer. But at the same time, it can be a company and a prayer because we are weaving and opening a new way and forging a new path of sacred commerce and really demonstrating what that looks like, what it looks like to have the sacred back in capitalism, right? And that's something that's pretty strange to wrap our heads around at first. And I got to tell you, it's been a journey of fine and constant study for us and for myself of how we operate in this model of um, being an e-commerce company first and foremost, and then utilizing our reach, our platform, our incredible community to increase our impact, increase our impact, increase our impact. And so this season, I've been reflecting a lot on this because we're, nearing the end of this cycle and really getting to look into what we want to bring forth in the new year. And we are growing at a rate that is very beautiful and exciting. I really I give credit to that for two reasons. One, because of our high integrity platform and our beyond fair trade model. I really believe that is like a foundational pillar that's giving us momentum to grow and resonate with more hearts. And then I also fundamentally believe that we are also growing because these plants are needed and because these tools are a balm of healing for so many at this time. And so we started, as I shared, to make a little bit of impact. And now we're at this beautiful moment where we're going to be able to start having much more impact than we even had this year. And so I've been reflecting on all of that and really sitting with all of that and really tuning into what that means, as like from a responsibility side of things. And because we never, set out with this company to make a lot of money. That's not, our why. That's not what gets us up in the morning. That's not what inspires us to keep going. But with resources, we can implement beautiful change. And so one of the things that we are very excited to be bringing forth more in 2024 is For Visions is now at the place where we're going to be able to sponsor full initiatives with our nonprofit partners and really start to take ownership and tell you, our tribe, and give you the updates and share the stories of some of these beautiful projects that we've been wanting to bring forth and do in partnership with our nonprofit allies. And so I'm sharing this because first and foremost, I want to thank you for being an avid supporter, a loyal supporter, client, customer, listener. Really, it's like we're doing this together. And I also want to thank you for your confidence and your trust in us as a company and as an organization. It truly it means so much that we have a tribe of beautiful, conscious people who believe in us, who are supporting us, and who are playing a crucial part in bringing this to life and bringing this mission forward. And together we are making beautiful impact in many different indigenous communities. And I want to share with you a little bit about some of the work that we did this year and touch a little bit on what we hope to accomplish next year. But really just basking in gratitude and divine reverence for these plants and for the ancient and for the sacred. And so with that, well, I want to share one more thing that was really fundamental for us this year in finding our footing, finding ourselves amidst a very powerful rebirth. Because I mentioned, we went through the rebrand, and so we really died. Four Visions died and was reborn. Well, Four Visions Market died and was reborn as Four Visions. And that was so beautiful because in the flames, the fire of transformation, we got to really dive deep to the crucible of these questions of what do we want to do with this responsibility that we've been given, and what does it mean to be true leaders in this unfolding in climate and environment, right? The ecosystem of plant medicines and psychedelics. And so in that beautiful investigation and discovery, all of this clarity of what I just was sharing came through. And then this other fundamental part came through, and that is of right relationship with the plants and how we can provide the resources and the education for people who are walking this path earnestly in a good way, but needing more teachings, needing more training and more support to be able to have the knowledge and the skills to walk this path in righteousness and with the support of the traditions and the traditional ways. And so that was where we came to the conclusion that the process of plant medicine integration is fundamental for us in really completing and stepping into this role as a true leader in the space. So for us, when we started asking these bigger questions of how we want to lead and how we want to serve our community, as well as really investigating and understanding the greater landscape of how our products are being used and how our community is interacting with these sacred tools and what is needed by you, our tribe, this answer of the integration program came really strongly. And so we spent a lot of the year building this program and developing it, putting a lot of thought into it and designing it with a lot of care and intention to create a container that would support anyone who's looking to deepen their connection with the plants and receive more from their interactions and communions with plant allies. And so this for us was like the completion of something bigger, especially when, we're talking about this element of integrating the plants into the modern society, the role of the indigenous wisdom keepers and the ancestral traditions in the traditional wisdom and mythology and practices and rituals. And then this other piece, which becomes so important, is the Western psychology and how we as Westerners interact with these practices while also being enmeshed in modern society and everything that entails. And so because we're not drinking these medicines and working with these plants deep in the jungle all the time, perhaps some of us get the opportunity to travel, but not all of us. And because we're utilizing them outside of their ancestral context, this element of integration completed a missing piece to the vision and to this overarching goal of full completion and the way forward with how to work with these tools and how we wanted to share these tools with our community and our tribe. And so if you haven't checked out the plant medicine integration program, please take a moment and take a look. It's a really beautiful program, and we really designed it for anyone who's walking with the plants. And so it can be utilized for immediate integration, but It can also be utilized to further your studies. The talks, the teachings, and the exercises and practices throughout the program are supportive for anyone who is looking to deepen their relationship with the plants and walk deeper in more whole and encompassing integrity with the path of plant medicine. And so that was a big deal for us. And it was a really big shift in our positioning as a company and what we are standing for, moving away from just products and really also stepping into the digital learning platform and sharing educational content and materials. And we look forward to doing more of that in the upcoming year and years to come. One of the things that people always reflect to me is that they love that Four Visions isn't just a shop. And so that is also one of the reasons that we feel the call to continue sourcing incredible educational material, because these plants do require orientation. They require education and proper introduction. And so I encourage anyone listening to take time to find your teachers, find your guides on the plant path. This is a path that does require guides and teachers and those who have more experience. And I share that, from over a decade of walking with one particular teacher, Taito Juanito, who I've shared a lot on the podcast about and have brought into the Four Visions ecosystem in many different opportunities and ways. But what I've learned is that this path is not linear. And we go through different chapters, different phases, and it's like we're climbing this mountain, but it's not a straight up mountain. And so, things could be going good for us. We feel really connected one moment, and then we enter another phase or cycle in our life, and it's almost like we forget everything. And so in those moments of forgetting, that's when we turn to our elders. That's when we turn to the ones that know, and we look to them for guidance because they have more spiritual strength than us. They have more time, more years on the path where they've cultivated their spiritual fibers more. And so at this time, Taito Juanito said to me the other day, the elders, they're dying, and once they leave this physical plane, if we haven't received their teachings, if we haven't received every gem or jewel of wisdom that they have, that wisdom goes with them. And that really hit me. That was a really powerful thing to just imagine and reflect on, because it's true. And even more so, this importance of supporting these cultures and the traditions to resurrect and to become stronger, so that there are more people from within the cultures learning and studying the ways of their people, so that these torches of wisdom continue to carry on. One of the things that we are really passionate about is preservation of indigenous language. And we've been working with a few different initiatives this year to support both a Yawanawa language school in Brazil with our partners, Children of the Rainforest, as well as a Siona school for the Siona tribe in Putumayo, Colombia. And so we are constantly looking for ways in which we can focus our funds and our resources to really important elements that we believe are fundamental in the continued growth and evolution of the sacred wisdom cultures and healing and access to these healing traditions for all beings. And I want to talk a little bit and share with you now some of the beautiful accomplishments that we have had this year when it comes to our impact, because you also are part of this as a supporter of Four Visions, as a customer. If you've ever bought anything from us, your funds that you directed towards our project are being used to support these initiatives. So it's with a lot of gratitude that I share some of these beautiful celebratory accomplishments and milestones this year, and with a lot of thanks to you for helping us bring this into fruition. And so the first project and an organization I would love to speak a little bit about is Magic Fund, because Magic Fund was the nonprofit that was started by Taito Juanito and one of our main allies and partners in these projects and initiatives. This year was a beautiful year for Magic Fund because we started the Planting Magic initiative, and the first phase is at near closure. We're hoping to close it by the end of this year. And this project is all about preserving ancestral endangered botanical species, specifically in the Colombian Amazon. And so we bought up a number of hectares of land and started planting throughout the year, cultivating these native species. And there's a few different reasons why we're planting. One, some of these botanical species are at risk of becoming extinct. And so if we lose those species, we lose access to thousands of years of healing. And these plants are so vital for these traditional wisdom cultures and for the shamanic healing traditions, as well as for the overall reforestation of the Amazon rainforest. As we know, the Amazon rainforest is so vital to the preservation of the Earth's global ecosystem. And so this is one of the reasons why planting magic seemed to be so important for us and was the forefront initiative of Magic Fund's work this year. And we made a tremendous amount of progress, and we're really happy. We planted 10,000 botanical plant species on the land that we have in Putumayo and have begun stewarding it, building a traditional maloca for the indigenous people there to be able to commune with the plants and be able to participate in their traditional rituals and ceremony. But this vision goes a lot farther when we talk about access to plant medicines for the next 7 generations, right? And really thinking beyond where we're at with plant medicines now. We envision these plants, these powerful visionary plants playing a vital role, a crucial role in the healing of humanity for the next generations to come. And so many people are awakening to plant medicines now that is only going to continue to ripple out and evolve and spread in the years to come. But in order to preserve that vision of healing and future for all of humanity, we need to plant. These sacred medicines are being over harvested and there's not enough planting being done. And so if we continue on the same trajectory of the commercialization of these sacred plants, we won't have them for our children and our children's children to commune with and to access these powerful healing portals and cosmo visions of these ancestral healing cultures. And so this is one of the elements. And then one of the other elements that I mentioned is this support of these indigenous communities in themselves resurrecting their cultures. And so with the language, that's one aspect, but there's so many different aspects to the culture that are at risk of being lost because the youth are simply not practicing their traditions. And there's been, with the colonization and everything that the indigenous peoples have endured, there's a value put now on going to the cities and getting formal education. And so a lot of the youth are leaving their communities and seeking more Western career paths, and they're not learning the traditions of their ancestors. And so this goal is to support them in returning to be able to value their traditions and being able to heal themselves, utilizing the ancestral modalities of their people, and encourage the youth to find excitement and passion once again in their traditional ways and to take ownership and become empowered through those cultures. One of the tribes that have been doing this in a really beautiful way is the Yawanawa community. And it's so beautiful to watch the Yawanawa youth traveling, sharing their medicines, their songs all over the world, and really returning to the ways of their people and becoming very excited to not only represent their culture and their traditions and their communities, but go out and be leaders, healers, sharing beautiful messages and teachings from their people with the West. And that's a really beautiful example of the ways in which this intercultural exchange needs to happen for all of us, for all beings to flourish, for all cultures to flourish. This exchange of information is vital. And Taito Juanito has shared with me a lot about how the tribes, they receive great deal from us as well when we go even to retreats and we go and study with them, because they also receive an impulse or a motivation to continue sharing and to continue helping their communities resurrect and return back to the ancient traditions. And so there's this beautiful momentum, and it's happening because of this intercultural exchange, which I find to be really beautiful and inspiring. Four Visions also sponsored and is sponsoring a music album that is in partnership with Magic Fund, that we are most likely going to be utilizing for the Planting Magic initiative, depending on where we are at with the first phase of planting when we finally launch the album. But we are really excited. We teamed up with Ajit Kaur, an incredible medicine sister and musician and wonderful, powerful woman and music producer. And we also have Pia Lucy, who is a powerful singer and beautiful songstress on the album. And Taito Juanito will be on the album. Taita Lucho, his brother, will be on the album chanting, as well as some of the other medicine musicians in the family. And so we're really excited to be launching that. It's possible that it comes out this month, but we're still waiting on some final details. So I can't share with you the exact date and plan for launch right now, but that was a really beautiful project, and we're excited to get to share that music with you. And then, yeah, I would love to also just mention, like with our partnership with Children of the Rainforest, it's been so beautiful to be able to support the school Iskavakahu and our community and friendship with that organization with Chief Iskakua has been so beautiful. And we're so honored to be able to support all the incredible work that they're doing. And again, want to thank you so much for your role in it. And Andros Soluna, the Chief Executive Director of the nonprofit, sent me an update this week, and I would love to share it with you. And it was a message sharing about some of the progress with the project, as well as a thank you to all of us for our support in it. And so I'll let that play now, and then I'll close with some final words.
Hello, Four Visions Tribe. This is Andrew Soluna, Executive Director of Children of the Rainforest. I'm here to give you an update on Iskuvakuhuhu, the Yawanawa traditional school at New Hope Village, led by Skunkwa Yawanawa and supported by Four Visions. We inaugurated Iskuvakuhuhu back in October of 2022. But even before we first opened our doors, Four Vision became a guardian of New Hope. Mariah and the Four Visions tribe saw the vision and understood how important it is to support indigenous language reclamation. Four Vision has been a monthly sponsor and committed donor to this mission since the beginning, and for that we want to say thank you. So 2023 has been our very first year of operation, and it has been a year of learning. Iskuvakuhuhu is a traditional school, meaning that the curriculum is entirely based in cultural and spiritual practices. Kids learn the Yawanawa language by planting and tending the nurseries, doing spiritual diets, learning chants and music, storytelling with elders, fishing and hunting, cooking, and living day-to-day life with the elders. So our first year has been a success. We have sustained the school and the learning, but the school is just beginning. As this year comes to an end, we look forward to launching phase 2 of this vision, which is a formal curriculum development. Because right now, no formal Yawanawa language curriculum exists. Many people know the name Yawanawa, but they don't know that the language is actually critically endangered. And according to the United Nations, around the globe, we lose an indigenous language every 2 weeks. The Yawanawa language is critically endangered, and it's a happy ending here at Iskuvakuhuhu. This school is reversing the language loss. The Yawanawa language is being reclaimed, and with your continued support, the programs at Iskuvakuhuhu will grow more and more children will be able to take part. More youth will be able to undergo spiritual diets and take part in a formal Yawanawa language curriculum. So, as a thank you, we'd like to invite you to go to yawakids.com and download a free album recorded live at the 6-day inauguration festival back in October of 2022. It's a recorded album of the kids singing their songs. So go to yawakids.com to get a link to that. So thank you so much, Mariah and the Four Visions tribe. We appreciate you so much. And we look forward to another year of success. All the best. Bye-bye.
So that is such a inspiring and exciting update, and really filled me with a lot of joy. So thank you for listening to it and for being a part of all of this. It's so beautiful, and there's so much work to be done. And together we are walking in right relationship with the plants and with all of nature. And it's a tremendous honor to get to do this together as a community and as a tribe. And so really just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the Four Visions family, the Four Visions team, for being part of this journey with us. We look forward to a beautiful 2024 to continue expanding our impact. There's so much to do. And I was speaking with Taito Juanito this morning of all of the different things that are needed, specifically in the Siona and Ingano tribes of Colombia, but as other areas and other regions as well that we are in service to with Magic Fund. And we are just so excited to first close off 2023 on a high note with a lot of celebration and gratitude, and begin again in the new year, forging forward this beautiful new way and continuing to support this vision and our mission of preservation, of empowerment, of healing for all of humanity. And it's such a pleasure to get to do this together. So I want to send you and your family a lot of love and blessings this holiday season. May you be filled with the light and the love of the Creator, and may the force of nature hold you in all of her beauty and grace this winter, so that you may be replenished and nourished and rejuvenate in the depths of the bosom of the Mother. And we will return with more episodes next year. So thank you, radiating out so much love and gratitude to each one of you. May God bless you, may God guard you, and may God protect you always.
From everyone at the Four Visions Market family, we would like to thank you for listening to our podcast. We really hope that you've enjoyed the conversation and gained many new insights on plant medicines, ancestral wisdom, and much more. Please remember to visit our website at www.fourvisionsmarket.com for more resources and information on plant medicine and spiritual tools. And please don't forget to follow us across social media for regular updates on upcoming episodes. We are grateful for your support and look forward to continuing this path with you all. Until next time, take care, stay present, and stay connected.